What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another live on the ATP network. I am your boy, Arnold Lewis. This is everything overseas basketball. I help players get ready for a life of overseas basketball, man, because it's everything overseas basketball over here. From financial advice, building wealth, from mental expansion, really getting your mind to the highest level that is needed to reach another level in life. And I speak from a perspective of a person that is trying to always find or always in strive of reaching that higher person or higher calling that I hear in my life. And we all have a calling. As if we just choose to listen to it or not. As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to say that we all have a calling. I'm not going to say that. All I can say is the ones who are know that they are. They know that they're called because there is a certain connection and feeling that we all have from one to another. We all hear that pull on our life that calls out to us in the times where we need to hear it the most and we choose to ignore it. I was recently just having a conversation with a friend of mine. Excuse me, drink some water. Just having a conversation, and we were talking about a friend, a mutual friend, and she said something in the words of, when you have that light inside of you, you have a responsibility. And I was like, you are 100% right. You are 100% right. When you have that light inside of you, you have a responsibility. And the people who have that light inside of them, they know who they are. There's some people gonna be like, bro, what are you talking about? Have no clue. There, those people exist as well. There's those who know that there is something inside of them deeper that's calling them, that is something you can't explain, something that you know is a pulling, driving force that is telling you to level up. Fati, what's up? Something that is telling you you need to level up. It starts telling you that, hey, yo, there's some people that you need to let go of. There's some things you got to stop doing. And you're like, bro, why am I hearing these things? What do you mean? Why am I hearing these things about letting go and moving on from different people and stop doing things? Why do I need to hear? Why is this sounding so loud? Like, why is being in this certain situation starting to make me feel bad? Why is it that I just don't like hanging out with certain people anymore? What is the reason that, you know what I mean? Like, what is the reason I hear this voice inside of me and like I feel it in my gut? It's so loud saying, hey, bro, you need to stop doing this. Yo, I think we need to move on from this situation. And we choose to ignore it. But the people who know they got that inner voice talking to them loud and clear, and you try to run from it, it's impossible. It is impossible to run away from that light that burns inside. Appreciate it, Matthew. There is a light that burns inside. It burns. And every time you try to run away, it will keep pulling and tugging and pulling on your heart, pulling on your relationships, pulling on your basketball game, pulling on your relationships with you and your friend. It might be normal for some people, but some people choose to ignore. It's fascinating what we know to be right and choose to ignore. I am hands first guilty. Hands first guilty to be the one to say, you know you shouldn't do this, and still do it. I will be the first person to say in my 36 years of life, there has been plenty of things I know I should not be doing. From the people I grew up around, my environment, the inner voice that I hear telling me, and I still choose to ignore. Still choose to ignore. I know I'm not the only one who has been in this situation. Now it's just how long do you choose to ignore that? How long do you keep choosing? Because it's like when you first start to hear it, you kind of just be like, well, I don't know if I'm just tripping or this is for real. I don't know if I'm just tripping or I'm like, why am I hearing this voice that's like, my friends want to go hang out. I want to go hang out. I want to go drink. I want to go party. I want to go holler at some Jones. I want to go just chill. And there's another, thank you, Fati. There's another side that said, you know what? Maybe we should not do that this time. And it's like, dang, then you have this like, there's no battle more fierce than the internal battle in your head. The fight that you have that's going on in your head between what you think is right and what you know is right, or what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. For the deep thinkers, for those that are deep thinkers, and like, I'm a deep thinker. I'm always in deep thought. Hence the show, Arnold's Thoughts Podcast, ATP Network. Because I know I am a profound thinker of things, and sometimes it is a double-edged sword because I get too caught up in my own thoughts. And that's really the creation for the whole show, is I could no longer contain the thoughts that were in my head because I didn't have a way of expressing it. I didn't have a way of just saying everything that I think. It had no theme. The theme started off. This is how the show started off. Hey, Fatih, I appreciate that. Was that 100 trillion? That 100 trillion, I accept that. Me and you both, we're going to be trillionaires. Okay? I accept that. That $100 trillion. There's 100,000 million, billion, trillion? Man, we finna be rich together. We already rich. You just gave us 100 trillion. Woo! The theme of this show originally started with me just speaking on life, as I am now. What up, Amo? As I am now, as I do now. And I was recommended at the time because I was trying to understand, like I was trying to get better. Like I'm always trying to improve the show. I'm always trying to improve my concepts and themes that I talk about. So I was trying to understand, what is it that I can do that can get people's attention, that I can give to them, that would keep them engaged, but I can also, okay, Wolf, I see you. Wolf wants some of that action too. Wolf wants some of that money action too. Okay, he part of the Trillionaire Club. Who else part of the Trillionaire Club? Who else part of the Trillionaire Club? We got Wolf and Fatih. Wolf and Fatih part of the Trillionaire Club. Who gonna join us? They already donated their trillion. If you donate your trillion in the chat, you could be a part of the club. What's our club? Wolf. We got the Trillionaires Club because Fatih first donated, and then Wolf donated inside of the chat. If you're not having trillionaire energy, you might as well lead a life. If you're not having trillionaire energy and you're not willing to donate $1 trillion inside of the chat, you can't be a part of the Trillionaires Club. It's Wolf and it's Fati. Wolf and Fati. Because they donated in the chat. Shout out to Wolf and Fati because they're part of the Trillionaires Club. You want to be part of the Trillionaires Club, you got to donate $1 trillion in the chat. Donate $1 trillion in the chat. Donate it if it's real. So the whole concept of the show, what I was trying to do was just improve the show at all aspects. You know, what can I do or what can I say that will intrigue people to listen to what I got to say, because I feel like I got something to say. I feel like there's something that I need to get out, because it's literally, I used to have this vein in my head. I still do. That's when this vein in my head started really like protruding out of my head, because I used to think so hard that the veins would just start popping in my head. And it's because I wasn't expressing. I wasn't expressing what I needed to say. I wasn't expressing. It wasn't coming out. Feel me? So that's how the show started. And I just go back to my very first videos. It's just me just talking about everything that comes out of my mindset. What is just life, Rome, situations. I was dropping like a video a week, a day. Kind of like how I'm going live now. I was dropping a video a day in the beginning, 4 or 5 minute videos every single day, just to, yeah, bro. Veins. This vein on the side of my head used to be so big, you could kind of see it. You know how that? And it's crazy. It don't pop out as much like it used to. But if you wanted to know if I'm stressed, this vein used to just be like, I gotta force myself or I gotta get hit for this to show before. But that just goes to show what you hold inside will show outside. I would definitely be Megamind. Megamind was extremely intelligent. So I would definitely be a Megamind. I'm not even gonna answer that, but I'm not. I play basketball. So that's more what I was talking about. I started off just talking about life, and then my girlfriend at the time actually said, "You have won 7 championships. You've been playing 9 years, and you've already won 7 championships playing basketball." At the time, it was 6. I won the 7th when I was with her. And then she was like, "Why don't you just talk about what it takes to be a pro basketball player and win championships?" And I was like, "You're absolutely right." So that just started me down the journey of just educating and talking about my experience playing pro basketball. Now I'm 12 years in. I'm 12 years in. I got 7 championships. And I feel good. Like I've just been living out my experience as a pro. And there are a few guys, you know what I'm saying? There are a few guys that kind of talk about the life or whatever, but now with this new era of age where there's like social media, and now like everybody's getting a podcast, and everybody's talking. I would say this: everybody's trying to get a podcast, because if you understood what it takes to run a podcast and run a YouTube channel, is why you don't see a lot of people coming on here talking about the life of overseas basketball. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody really talking about it like that, because to be a pro trying to live out. I don't know if you remember when Paul George was in the playoff and he said, I have to stop the podcast while he was in the playoffs, because it becomes a lot. It's a lot to run a network and try to grow a podcast while playing pro ball, especially overseas, because you are literally in control of everything, and you're literally running a whole business. And if you wanted to be, The business will only be as successful as you are. So if you're not willing, I've been doing this now, going in February, it would be 4 years as I've been on YouTube, dropping videos, dropping videos, dropping videos, dropping videos, trying to improve the show, trying to get better, trying to create new ideas, being from just a podcast to creating to a network, because the network now, it used to be just me talking about everyday situations to now still I interview guys. I got a couple interviews coming out, interviewing pros from all around different countries. Like right now, we're in Uruguay. I'm interviewing guys in Uruguay. I've interviewed guys when I played in Argentina, Chile, back at the crib in America. Like I have interviews from China, you know what I'm saying? All over the world. Like Terrence Ferguson was an ex-NBA player who's now playing on the team with my best friend, who's actually 15 minutes down the road. So I'm definitely going to get an interview with him and get him on the podcast, and we just chop it up and stuff like that, because I'm constantly growing the network. I have a movie that I created in Chile to put on the network. I have live video. Check out the last video that I just put. I just made a video of in-game. It's like an in-game, mic'd up conversation of just me playing basketball. It's like a mic'd up version. You get to see the whole, you don't get to see the whole game, but I chopped up the game. Just different levels of content of the overseas life. Like I'm taking over this whole lane when it comes to overseas basketball. And one thing I learned that a bunch of people are not getting is they're not getting information on how to get their money up in this game of overseas basketball. Everybody tell you about the life, or, oh, this is what you need to do to make it. This is the mindset you must have. This is how you must work out. These are the moves you must do. But ain't nobody telling you how to make money in overseas basketball the right way. No one is telling you how to make money in overseas basketball the right way. Nobody's telling you how to really get money and stack paper and really put yourself in a good situation, financial situation when you leave the game. Because you know what's the problem with overseas basketball? One of its many, many problems. There are many, many problems. 1 second. I gotta see. You still in the airport? That's crazy. Still in the airport? What's going on? Dang. They're not gonna last. NBA is not meant for you to last long. If you last long in the NBA, you're extremely great, or you do something really great. My point, Terrence Ferguson. I just played against Willis Reed. He played for the Heat. He was in the NBA. I just played against him last game. Earl Clark played in LA. I just played against him. Like, these are multiple guys who was in the NBA during my time in my career. Terrence Ferguson was just in the league a couple years ago, and now he's here in Uruguay on the worst team in the league. How do you end up here? Yes, from OKC. He's here. You feel me? That's the life of basketball. That's the life of pro basketball. They got y'all. Everybody's looking at the top, of course. It's NBA, it's Euro League. Guys are making millions. Everybody's looking up. But on the top of the pyramid, everybody can see the top. Ain't nobody worried about the bottom. And there's a lot more people on the bottom than the top. There's a lot more people on the bottom than the top. That's why it's so easy to fall down, because you're so high up. So high up. You went from playing for OKC to playing on one of the worst teams in Uruguay. No disrespect to him, because that also explains, like, not saying like he's in a bad situation. The only thing that it shows is it's not what you think it is. You don't think that, oh, I made it to NBA, I'm good. You could be, bro said he gave it up. Like, I'm done playing. Somebody, I spoke with him recently, and he was like, just a brief conversation, and he was just like, bro, some random, I got rid of my Instagram. Some random person came, agent, found me on Instagram, contacted me, told me to come play, give it one more try. He ended up going, playing in Mexico, and ended up here. Nobody, you just be like, oh yeah, I remember him. He was in the NBA. Whatever happened to him? I want to know the same question. Bro, what happened to you? I remember you being on, and then boom, you disappear, and now you're here. See how situations of life be? I don't know what's the situation. I'm finna find out, because I'm definitely finna do an interview with him, and I'm gonna put it right here on this channel, like I do with all my other interviews. I got 2 more interviews coming out this year. I've been so focused on going live every day, I haven't been dropping my interviews because it takes a lot of, because I need to edit them, and I haven't edited them because I've been going live every single day, and that's a new concept that I've been trying. So, what? Yep, that's when Russ and PG was there. You're absolutely right. Yep, that's when they was there. And here comes the 6'7" references. Just a quick tip for you, I actually am 6'7". Waze squaze. So back to the point, I kind of lost track because I have someone coming to see me, and I'm not going to be here with you guys long. Avery Bradley didn't really vanish, for real, for real. He kind of just, I felt like he had his time in the league. He had his time in the league. But Terrence Ferguson was young. Like, I felt like Avery Bradley played for a while, and I think he had got hurt. Injury set him back. Okay. Injury set him back. I kind of lost track of where I was talking about, guys. I had to take a... But anyways, I am not going to be here much longer. You know what I'm saying? I had those episodes coming out. I'm definitely got to do a video with T Ferg. Definitely got to do a podcast interview with him and drop that. I can't wait till my movie come out. I cannot wait till the movie. I made a movie, so I'll talk a little bit about the movie here today as well. The movie I have that's coming out on the network it's called Uno Mas. Uno Mas. I made it in Chile. We're in the playoffs, and I just got an idea. I'm with my best friend, the one who plays with Ferguson now, the one who's playing with T Ferg now. We were playing in Chile together 2 years ago, and we were just talking about ideas to how to make our account, always trying to figure out how to make the page and the channel better. And he was like, bro, you know what you got to do? You got to make a movie. And you got to make it, like, you got to really make it. So I was like, dang, you're right. That's fire. I need to make a movie. Found a videographer, started making the movie, had them follow me around situations, and paid these guys, and I'm still waiting on the movie. We're still in contact. As soon as the movie come out, it's going to be exclusively on the channel. Exclusively on the channel, just to give everything, the whole aspect of the overseas life on this channel. Wealth building, that's what we were talking about. Ain't nobody talking about how to get money in overseas basketball. I'm laying out a blueprint as best as I can. Stock market, you need to put your money, well, this is what I do. There's real estate, stocks. You choose a lane where you can put your money in, where money is going to grow for you. You have to put money in where it's going to grow for you. If you don't, you're wasting your time playing this game. If you think you're just going to play basketball, play overseas basketball, just so you could say I lived a life and I did this and I was over here in Uruguay on Montevideo on the beach, turned up all the time. And then I went over to China and I was in Shanghai. And you know what? Cool. That's very cool. But you know what? If you don't know how to manage your money, that joint is going to just fly right out of your hands and it's going to be a waste. Because when you look back, you're going to be like, dang, what did I have to show for all the time I spent playing overseas basketball? And a lot of players leave the game going back to regular jobs, regular situations, and just not ever making any real money or not ever really using overseas basketball for what it is. It's a great opportunity to build wealth because you got so much time to build. The reason I'm able to make a movie, the reason I'm able to get content and put on and go live all the time and everything is because I got so much free time when I'm not practicing. I got time to think about ideas and create them in my free time. I got time to learn the business side. I got time to take courses. I got time to read. I got time to learn things, to study, to try to figure out other ways of making money. Because after I go to practice, after you go to practice for about, like today, we got practice for about 3 hours. After that, and we go to practice, okay, we left for practice at 8:45. I got back home at 1 p.m. What was that? 4 hours maybe? Half of that is standing around changing, BSing around in the weight room, lifting weights sometimes and going and shoot. Then we're practicing really for an hour and a half, and then you're watching film, and then that's your day. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. So the greatest opportunity that I have is to build and like take advantage of the time. And that's what was not taught to us. That was not the game that was given. That's the real game. The real game is what you do with the time that you have when you're free. That's the real game. What do you do with the free time that you have? Because that's the real opportunity. Playing basketball is fun, but the real opportunity is how you use the free time you got. What are you doing with the free time you got when you're not playing? That's all that matters. That's all that matters. It's what you're doing with that free time. For me, I say, man, I'm going to figure out how to get rich. I'm going to figure that out. Because after about, I go look at, I think I did live about a month ago, 12 years or 9 years in, and I had $100 in my pocket. 9 years in playing professional basketball, I had 7 championships. I had 6 championships at the time, and I had $100 in my pocket. I was working at Walmart. I was stocking boxes. Then I went to the night shift stocking boxes, and then I went to work in the mechanic department, changing oil and changing tires and changing batteries. That was my job description. Yep. That was about 8-9 years in the game. I was stocking some boxes. I was working at Walmart. Then I worked to be a mechanic in the Walmart department because I didn't understand how to use the free time I had to build something. Since then, I've committed, I'm not going to say every second, but I've committed, I could say over 80%, 90% of my time, my free time, into building wealth. I need 10% for myself. I need some free time for myself. But 90% of my free time is all geared towards building wealth and building wealth. That is all my free time. Building this business, building this network, building out my stock portfolio, building out my, like just all my assets, accumulating assets, learning how to trade, taking courses, all these things. I would say, you know what? This is what I'm going to commit to. Stop watching TV. I cut back on the music that I listen to. I cut back on a lot of music. I cut back on all TV series. I stopped watching anime. I stopped playing 2K and playing the game. I stopped playing the game for 9 years of professional basketball. In my free time, I played 2K and video games, and I quit. That is absolutely amazing now that I think about it. I stopped that because I was so committed to, like, I gotta do something different. I gotta do something different. I can no longer just keep living like this. I can't just keep wasting all my time playing video games and watching TV series, movies. I will always say this, and this will always be true, at least for me in my life. And normally for what I see in most people's lives, how it normally is, if you want to go to another level, if you want to achieve something bigger and better than what you currently have, there you always have to leave something. You have to stop doing something. You either have to leave someone, you have to do something. Something must be, like, you have to drop something to give you, like, something has to be let go. You have to let something go. Whatever that is for you, it could be your vices, it could be your girlfriend, it could be your cousin, it could be your mom, it could be your job, it could be your business. Whatever it is, something that you have, if you want to do something different in your life or be a better person in your mind of what you're trying to do, or reach another level, like, hey, I really want to do this, you have to leave something. You have to do something. I don't really do shout outs because that could be saying, I don't know what that is. I appreciate you like my channel, but I don't know if that's like somebody trolling and stuff like that. You know how it is. Too many people troll. I could be saying somebody's name, or I could be saying something crazy in another language. I don't know. So if it is your birthday, shout out to your boy for your birthday, or girl, whoever. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to their birthday. I always say shout out to the birthday. Shout out to you and your birthday. But I ain't saying no words that I don't know. If it's a person's name, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. Shout out to them. Shout out to you. But yeah, you know what, man? That's all I got for today. I appreciate everybody tapping in. Make sure y'all like, hit that notification bell, because we here every single day, man. I'm here for you guys every single day. We rocking out, vibing every day. Tap in with me. Remember, greatness is a habit, not a right. Till next time.